Morning, students. Uh, Today we have to study and we have to discuss about the distinguishing uh, difference between the social change and the social movements. Today we are going to having our study about that. Or now we general social change in general or the social movements, what is the difference? Okay, social change and the social movement. So now here the social change, what is the social change? The social change is a continuous and the ongoing in the society. You have studied in your 11th class, the social change happens, and this now moves and the goes on. Social change always going on, and it is the continuous social changes, or it is the eternal or the continuous, understand, or the changes happens, whether its pace may be the too slow or gradual, or its pace may be the faster, too fast, or the slower, faster, understand. And moreover, the broad historical process of the social change are sum total. Social changes means in the, if you see in the broad sense, the sum total countless individual, okay, the total countless individual and collective action gathered across time and space. The total sum total countless individual or the collective actions together, okay, individual try to bring about the change, the collective groups try to bring about the change. So their social sum, their collective across the time and space, time and space, across the time and space, the individual's efforts and the collective efforts, and if it is all brought together and this in the time or space, understand, so then this brings about the social change, a structural change we can say, or the social change. On the other hand, let's see about the movement, social movement. So this is the directed towards the some specific goals, and these social movements are directly targeted towards the certain goals, certain defined goals. It is the specific certain efforts and the now directed towards the some specific goals. Or this social movement involves a long, social movement involves long and continuous social efforts. Now, or the long or continuous social efforts and action by the people. Long and continuous social efforts and the action by the people. Okay, or now we can have the discussions in the we have discussed in the chapter 2, and you have already studied about the Sanskritization, Westernization, that is as a social change. We have already studied Sanskritization, about the Westernization, or the not modernization, Westernization or Sanskritization. These are the part of the social change. This has brought about the social change. A lot of social changes happened and occurred. And see, 19th century social reforms, we can see that how the social changes occurred, efforts to change society as a social movements in the 19th century. I have already, you know very well, that 19th century galaxy of our socio-religious reformers now made the efforts to bring the social, and they brought the social movement to bring about the social changes. Understand? So now, students, first of all, we have to see here also Why the study of social movement is important for sociology? The subject sociology you are studying. For this sociology, understand that these social movements are why important. Why the social movements are important for the sociology. And now in the beginning, discipline of sociology has been interested in social movements. We see that in the beginning of right from the beginning, the sociology, the study of sociology is interested in the study of the social movement. For example, we can see that in the French Revolution, take the example, what happened? Violent culmination of the several movements. Now, French Revolution was the violent culmination of movement aimed at overthrowing the monarchy system. And this social movement, French Revolution, as a social movement, now overthrew the monarchy system there, and Louis Louis XVI government was completely overthrew and or established this social movement or that movement established liberty, equality, and the fraternity. The three principles sprang up from the French Revolution. And from this a great movement, or we also have seen, now we studied in Britain, industrial revolution. Now before the industrial revolution, about the Britain, we should talk the glorious revolution occurred in Britain in the 1688, and it was the glorious because no other, because not a drop of blood was shed in this glorious revolution, or a big or a great, a grand political changes occurred without any changes and without any shedding of any blood. So that is why a great and the constitutional change happens. Now the power from the monarch with the crown of the Britain now shifted in the hands of the British Parliament. Understand? So we see that Great Britain, or moreover, the Industrial Revolution was marked by the great social upheavals in the Britain, and the Industrial Revolution was also they brought about Industrial Revolution brought about a great upheavals in the social structure of the Great Britain. What happened? The feudal structure of the society broken down, and gradually the peasants in the field now became and turned into the working class of the factories, and now the flocks, huge number of laborers from the countryside, now they flock towards the cities, the emerging big cities or the emerging the industrial cities, where they flocked and they joined and taken on as a working class, as a labor class. Understand? They render their service. So this was those peasants who were the part of the third estate now became here as the turn into the class, formed a class. On the other hand, the capitalist and the haves, they formed the capitalist class. So a complete social structure, a feudal structure was now demolished by after the industrial revolution. It was the complete, and the moreover, and the recall discussion emergence social in the now in the West in the books. Poor laborers and the artisans who had left the countryside find out the work in cities, and protested against the inhuman living conditions or the now these poor and the now flock towards the cities of the Britain, and where they now created the huge and large slums. Understand? Or they deprived of the hours, working hours were enhanced, and the maximum exploitation began in the factories. Understand? Or moreover, or accidents happened. Even the children were deployed there. Deployed. Understand? Or accidents occasionally happened, no compensation given, no residential housing housing arrangement was done, and deprived of the all civic amenities. Understand? These who they now gathered and created a slum society there in the cities or inhuman conditions, and where they were the forced in the inhuman condition in the factories. They used and forcibly began to be taken the work, and moreover, food riots in England were often suppressed, and moreover, we can see the food riots occurred in England, and the government tried to suppress the food riots there. These protests were perceived by, or these all protests were perceived by elites as a major threat to the established order of the society. The elite class, the dominant class of the England, okay, they now felt that, or that this menace and threat of established order of the society. Understand, as the laborers and the workers created or the demanded and they launched the movement, and there and this elites class anxiety about maintaining the social order, this created a anxiety. They became the anxious for maintaining the social order, and reflected in work of the society, and these anxious, their anxious maintaining the social order is now reflected in the work of sociologist, great sociologist Emil Durkheim. Emil Durkheim's writings about the division of labor in society. Understand? Forms of religious life, division of society and forms of religious life, and even he now try to reveals and try to show this concern in the society in his work, major work on the society, and mirror his concern about the how social structure enabled social integration. Now he tried to show that how the social structure enables the social integration. Understand? He tried to show that. Moreover, social movements were seen as a force that led to the disorder, and moreover, ultimately, they concluded. Understand? Of the elite class or the this kind of the thinkers, Emil Durkheim, they concluded that these movements were the seen as a forces that led to the disorder. Understand? That led to was the disorders. Understand? Social disorders. They now saw these movements in that from that angles, from their angles, and moreover, scholars influenced by, and the moreover, another scholars we know very well, Karl Marx. Karl Marx offered different view and the violent collective action. Now Karl Marx represented the society and the social changes, through the violent collective actions. He represented, or now our historians like the E.P. Thompson and other great historians, A.P. Thompson showed that crowd and the mob were not made up of the anarchical hooligans. On the other hand, Thompson have tried to show these movements in a different angles and different way. Understand? Or the different views. What he said that the mob and the crowd were not made of the anarchic hooligans out of the destroyed society. No, they too had a moral economy. Now Thompson said that they are not anarchists and destructing the society. No, they had their own moral economy. In other words, they have their own shared understanding. The social movement is not anarchy, not a destruction. This is the shared understanding of the collective rights of the people, collective rights of the collective rights of these losers. Understand? And wrong rights and the wrong that inform their action. Their research showed that poor people in urban areas had good reasons for protesting, and now from some research reveals that these poor people who are protesting and who are in the movement in the towns and the cities, they have their good reasons, their movement, and they often resorted the public protest because they had no other way. And why the poor people in the cities now start and the protest? They joined the movements, protest and the agitation and demonstration because they had no other way expressing their anger, no other way to expressing their anger and resentment against the deprivation, whatever the deprivation, exploitation, exclusion. Understand that they had no other way to express their views. Only they express their views in the protest or the social movements. We can't say that in the anarchy or the hooligans, no at all, and disrupting the society, no at all. These are the expression of their grievances and their discontent. This is not anarchist. Understand, a collective understanding. They had the moral economy, and that had the collective understanding, and this has led towards the movements. Understand, and towards the social movements. Let's see. Other way, the theories of the social movement. Students, many theories have been the. You must remember the different theories given by the different thinkers. Understand this. Some of the theories I am going to explain. Understand. You should learn about those theories. You should take these theories. Understand very sincerely. Okay. The first theories of that. First theories है theory of relative deprivation. Theory of relative deprivation. Social conflict arises when a social group. What is the theory of relative deprivation? कि when a certain social groups feels that it is worse off than other around it. Their condition is very simple. If a certain group feels that if a certain group feel that their condition is worse than worse, understand, than others conditions around it, so then around it such conflict is likely to result in successful collective protest, and the such realization, such feelings is likely result in and ultimately result in successful collective protest, and then after they come into the movement and successful collective protest they start. And this theory emphasizes the role of psychological factor, or in this there is a role of psychological factors such as the resentment. Okay, resentment, they feel that there is a discrimination, their condition is worse, they compare, and this psychology is created in their minds and their hearts, and the rage in inciting social movements, and this psychology are the feeling that their condition is the worse, understand, in comparison to the others condition around them. So then this creates a psychology of protest in the mind, understand, or this condition psychological factor or creates the resentment in their minds, or rage in inciting a social movement, and this rage in the anger or incites or aggravates them to take on a protest or a movement. This is the, and moreover students, the limitation of this theory are the while perception of deprivation. Limitation of this theory is what? They feel the deprivation may be a necessary condition for collective action if the group deprived of certain avenues or the opportunity. Understand? So this now create this is the limitation is that the theory perception of deprivation that groups have the perception of the deprivation or that now condition for a collective necessary condition for a collective action, and they take the collective action. So they are not sufficient. Now they are not a sufficient reason in themselves, or even then they are not sufficient in them, a sufficient reason in themselves. All instances where people feel relatively deprived don't result in social movement, but in the same way, in the different way, we see that in the all instances where people feel the relatively deprived don't result in the social movement. Everywhere, such a similar theory is not applied. Somewhere, the same conditions can be create a condition for the movement that deprivation, but in the certain people and the group that kind of the similar kind of the deprivation, it's not necessary to create and raise or incite the people for the protest. So this is the now depends relatively. This is the different. Understand? Or can you think example where people do feel the deprivation? You can just find out the any examples that the people feel the deprivation and don't start or join the movement to redress their grievances. People are deprived, but they don't form their deprivations, form their group for the movements. Have you now realized anything in your surrounding? Please, you should find out about that. Next, so this theory is called as the theory of relative deprivation. ये one theory है. You should must mark it. Understand? And next, to mobilize collectively in the sustained or organized. Now, movement is what? Movement must be the mobilized, collectively or sustained, organized manner. These are the main features of the movement. Grievances have to be the discussed or analyzed in order to arrive at a shared ideology. So this discussion must be the happen to now to reach at a shared ideology and a strategy. These are the main features of the movement. That is, there is no automatic causal relationship between the relative deprivation. So there is no any automatic causal relationship between relative deprivation and collective action. Here we don't find the causal relationship between the relative deprivation and collective action. There are other factors such as the leadership and the organization that are equally important. So apart from that, other factors are also very necessary for the leadership and the organization. The movements, leadership is the one features. There must be the leader, and there must be the organization are equally important in the important for the movements. Second thing is that Banker Olson's book say Logic of Collective Actions argue that a social movement is an aggregation of a rational individual. Here he talk about the Banker Olson say talk about the rational individual actors. Rational individual actors. Understand? He talk about the rational about this the Manker also say is this theory हम कल पढ़ाएंगे. Understand? Next class में theories of social movement आप एक बार पढ़ लीजिएगा once more because the different theories are here. Okay, so this is the last topic and the chapter. We have to be the discuss about that. or a theories or a exercise question you will do. Understand? Social theory, Menger theories I will explain tomorrow, और एक मैककार्थी theories है, और these 3 or 4 theories you will write in a separate order, different theories of the social movement, features of the social movement. Understand? तो आप relative theory लिखेंगे. Then after you will write about the Menger-Walson's theory, collective or a rational individual actors. Understand? About that you will write here. Then students, this is the much for that, or for the objective question. Understand? Gap or the important terms are also given for 2 number. You have the 1 marks 20 question, 2 marks question, or a 4 marks question, or the 6 marks question, or one passage is the given in the. Understand? One passage is the given. So then you will prepare those passage. You will go through once or more and the 2 times, because objective could be the taken and the made from these paragraph also. So these box responses will make your answer very effective. If you are the writing the answer related with those box, understand? So then you can give the example from those box. So this will make your answer very much effective. Understand? Or and for the objective, that will make the good preparation also. Understand? And more information and more clear. Your doubt will be the clear maximum. These are the examples to understanding you. Understand? These are the examples. Or a gap, what I used to make the question. Understand? Not the MCQ only. Here the gap fillings. Understand? Important lines filled by the important words, sociological words. Understand? This kind of the study help you have to be the do. Understand? Or a question answer from the exercise. Many question has been given in exercise. Understand? First you prepare that. Then after, when you will meet in the class in further, I will discuss or I will again discuss about the chapter wise question. Understand? Or yourself you read out, or exercise question are very that is the most sufficient, and analytical study for the analytical study for line by line study for your 1 marks question, that should not be the missing. Understand? So very carefully every information, understand, you should go, and each line should be the remembered in the NCERT. Okay, NCERT is the Bible for I suppose for the CBSE students. Understand? That must be the grasped. And second thing is that expressions, the examination in the expression, good expression can fetch the good marks. The expression you will try in the good language, develop good expressions. Understand? That will fetch the much marks. That will make the difference. I tell you, the expression I have seen that whether in the history or whether in the sociology, that will make points pick up from the NCERT or expression should be the use. Understand? So the make the expression very effective, or a very good writing or expression. Okay, and always care for the limit of the words. Understand? You must care of that. The limits of the words the followed strictly. Understand? No chance of the cutting the any single marks, any half marks even. No. Understand? Students like that sociology we will prepare, or you last. This is the last chapter. and then after, if you meet in the classes, then we shall start it. Whatever, let's have our further plan. Then according to that we shall do, and we shall do our further works. Understand? So, students, uh, prepared, and next day I shall discuss. Thank you. Thank you.